What's Happening Hoke show is filmed before a live audience and is brought to you by Rockfish Motor Speedway, the Rock of Hoke, nunboys.com, and GPS Photography and Video, GPS Photo and Video. What's Happening Hoke? Glenn Young alongside Hal Nunn, and welcome to the What's Happening Hoke show. We are at 2950 Lindsay Road, where the show is taking place. Take every Thursday, 4 to 5. And streaming now on the What's Happening Hoke YouTube channel. Yep. We got last week's Midnight Madness. You got our interview with Donna Brock, Age Outreach Services. Plus, you got all the other videos from the sheriff to Alan Thomas, the commissioner, the budget, everything that you want to know. And don't forget, of course, the winter circle.
All you got to do is go to YouTube and search What's Happening Hoke, and you will find 91 videos.
91.
Good job. 91 videos this guy has posted on all Hoke County.
Wow.
And if you would like to sponsor the show, look us up, give us a message, and we can promote your business just like we're doing for Rockfish Speedway, in which they are the sponsor of the What's Happening Hoke show.
Rock of Hoke.
Also GPS Photography and Video and nunboys.com. But
here's the thing, you got to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
You got to click
because once you subscribe, it automatically bookmarks.
Right.
So every time you open up YouTube, you know, we're kind of finding What's Happening Hoke show is right there.
Not only that, Glenn, when you post a video, it sends a link to your email. So every day you get a notification, or every time we post a video, you get a notification to go look at it. And it's probably something you need to know about.
Exactly. Especially the stuff that we reported on from the air conditioning unit. Remember that? Remember the veteran story that didn't get paid, they declared him dead? Yeah. So many stories that are out there. There's for Hoke, by Hoke, because we both live in Hoke County. It's the show that's for you. If you got an idea for a show or news that we need to cover that you want to find out about, the community board meetings.
Yep.
I mean, so much stuff that's out there. Again, it's for Hoke and it's by Hoke.
And let me tell you this. If you don't know, it's August in North Carolina.
Yep.
And that means it's hot.
It's warm. But you know what? We got to catch a big break, man. I mean, we got 80s all the way out to Wednesday. 85, lows in the 60s. And of course, we got the rain today.
Yeah, well, it rained, and the bottom fell out on me on between Fayetteville and Rayford. And then all of a sudden, when the bottom fell out, the steam came right up.
Yeah, the humidity went back up. But I mean, it's a good break. I mean,
what are we looking like?
You got to do the things you need to do. Take care of your pets, take care of yourself, hydrate.
It's going to be in the 60s on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, that's almost cold.
That's like mountain weather.
I mean, you're talking about Monday, we were what? In the hundreds?
101.
101, 90s all week up until today. Man, you're talking about 10, 15 degree swing.
I'm ready to roll now.
This
football
season. This is lovely.
I don't have to stand on that field and sweat all the time. Like
Wasn't it hot out there? Wasn't it hot out there when we went out to Midnight Madness?
Midnight Madness was a little bit stuffy, but I was glad to see. I'm sure we'll talk more about that in this
those videos are up there as well.
Let's get into some news real quick.
Well, the biggest thing that's going on, you know, it's August, and that means it's getting close to school starting.
Yep.
And parents, I can feel your pain because you got this school list, that school list, back to school list. And the biggest thing is the vaccinations this year. They've got to do vaccination policy. They got to get the meningococcal meningitis vaccination.
I think
it's
everybody.
called the meningococcal. Let me make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
My pronunciation is off. But the Hoke County Board of Education passed an update to the vaccination policy that everyone needs to get the proper vaccinations done. Specifically, rising 12-year-olds or 7th graders have to go get the meningococcal conjugate vaccine. That's the vaccine for meningococcal meningitis.
I'm a supporter of the vaccines. I do know there are some families who feel like that they shouldn't have to participate. But
there's only two ways you can get out of it: religion or doctor's policy. But you got to have it, and guess what? You got a 30-day grace period from the time the school starts.
Documentation.
From the time the school starts on August 24th, because you know you always have those later routes,
right?
Especially in military transition. Yeah. You got 30 days to provide the vaccination record. If not, that kid, your child, cannot be admitted to school. So that's huge.
And then they have the option if they don't want to take the shots and they don't want to go to school, they have an option to go to a private school or go.
Well, you got homeschooling, but bottom line, you need to have. If he's going to a Hoke County school,
Need to have your
need to have that shot.
vaccine.
Or if he's going to a North Carolina school, now you can find all this information at www.immunize.nc.gov.
That's right.
Another additional, if you're a 12-year-old, also has to have a booster shot for tetanus and diphtheria. That's just another one.
I support the vaccine program. You should too, and then
Yeah,
get your kids.
I mean, I was vaccinated. Did you enjoy that day you got your shots?
Well, the ones I remember the most were before I went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Oh, well, did you ever go to Korea?
No.
The gamma globin shot. Shot in the
Oh,
derriere.
gamma globin. Yeah. I had it before Saudi. So.
Man, your whole hip was out.
All right,
But last note on that 17-year-olds, beginning 1 August 2020, we got a little while of this, 12th grade, or those who are 17 years old, will also have to get a booster dose of the meningococcal conjugate vaccine.
All right.
Sorry if my vaccination is off. Now, that leads you into, of course,
What else?
August 20, school night. Hope County High School orientation day,
Yep.
7 to 7.
Yep.
And
They're doing it in one night.
In one night, all day long, 7 in the morning. I don't think they're going to have many people out there 7 in the morning.
Or at 9:30, to be honest, because there'll be people working that day.
Yeah.
What's
So
going
they're
to
going to be out there at 7 p.m. and you have to get all the facts, school IDs, everything you can think of, obviously shot records, and you can talk and find schools, schedules. Remember that?
I mean,
You know what's
that
going on.
and senior stuff, they got it all planned out to where all you have to do is go on that one day, 7 in the morning, 7 at night. I would imagine between 4 and 7 it's going to be good.
Yes, it is. Time to get off work, fight through traffic, get there at 7 o'clock. Now, the night before, I know East Hope Middle is their orientation.
Yeah, the middle schools are at a different time. I don't have all those. We'll get those next week, but the middle schools are at a different time, and elementary schools.
Back to my point, parents, try to be patient, try to be calm. You invest all this money. Every year I was averaging $100, $120 in school supplies.
Just in supplies.
Yeah.
That's not
And then
counting
that-
fees.
And then that midterm, you see that midterm progress report, you're like, dude, return on investment,
Athletic fees.
athletic fees, hey.
It goes up. But anyway, get the kids over to the open houses. You can check the local paper. They have a listing of all those in there for high school, middle schools, elementary schools. I want to give one more big shout out to Sheriff Hubert Peterkin for being elected as the North Carolina Sheriff's Association. They used my picture for the front page. You see, remember Antonio?
WRAL did a great story on that this week.
Gilbert Bays was out there.
The biggest thing about it he talked about, and we had already interviewed on it, we reported on it last year, was the vest cameras.
Yep.
He
was the first one.
We were the first ones to do it. He said the best money he ever spent.
Absolutely.
So Wake County and everybody else was deciding whether they should get the camera vests right?
Yeah, the
camera.
the camera.
The vest cameras.
The vest cameras.
Yeah, for the officers wear.
I like
We already had it.
Yep, we were on the ball.
You
He's on the
saw
ball.
in Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, it incriminated that officer who shot that guy in the head. So it incriminates and it also exonerates.
Exonerates.
So that's the biggest thing about it.
Video's tough to get by, but we enjoy it, we embrace it.
Yeah, and they're being videoed. Every now and then police officers have a video camera as well, especially in the schools. I think everybody was just looking at, well, that's good for the resource officers, but they hadn't really thought about how big it was going to be on the street until the stories we see is going on there.
We got 2 new principals at Hoke County Schools. Tommy Jacobs, a lot of people know him from the high school, will be the new principal at Sandy Grove Middle School. And then A.J. Hammond.
Where the air conditioning is on.
Yeah. A.J. Hammond will be the new principal at West Hoke Elementary. August 18th, the Economic Chamber Outlook Dinner. That's always a good one to go to because they usually let the businesses speak a little bit about what they're doing. I'm sure we're going to see Mr. Brownie from Rockfish Speedway and the Brownie's Towing folks out there. August 18th, Economic Outlook Dinner. And that leads me into the Poultry Festival. Maybe
no longer the Turkey Festival.
Maybe we need to get Melissa over here and let her talk a little bit about the Poultry Festival.
We should, because that's the Southfield game, right?
September
71st game or something.
I don't know, but I think I have my schedule. I'll check it.
But the Poultry Festival, you got the parade, but let's invite her on.
And we'll talk poultry. It'll be the first annual Poultry Festival. And if you don't know what poultry is, Google it because it'll tell you all the different
politically correct poultry.
Yeah.
What is poultry? Okay.
All right, and one more thing. National Night Out is coming this Saturday. Sheriff's Department's in charge of it. I used to help Martha Beatty. She was one person that sort of got it started. And then now it's grown into the big thing out on the 211 Park at Parks and Recreation Complex. It's a big night. It talks about safety. You can get your kids ID. You can get them fingerprinted and all that in case there's some issues there. National Night Out is Saturday at the park on 211. I think at 5 p.m.
211 Sports Complex.
Yes.
Yes.
One thing
3915 Red Springs Road.
There you go. One thing I want to warn people on, and that is there are some stories in the local paper, and if you haven't, get you a copy this week. They're at 50 locations around the county. Forgery and counterfeit checks. When somebody pays you, you need to make sure that your check is from the proper institution. Apparently, there's a dude running around sending checks to people with the City of Fayetteville logo on them.
Tell you what, let's take a break. We're going to come back with more news. We want to talk about shootings, of course, as well as some other stuff that's coming up. That's hitting our news this week. Definitely affects us. We'll be right back.